What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Kings Cort Podcast. And I know y'all used to hear somebody say Thursday. Look at the new title. Did somebody say Friday?
TGIF.
First of all, hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July holiday. Of course, as you know, I'm Nate. I'm gonna let everybody else introduce themselves, but real quick, I'm gonna introduce everybody. Of course, y'all know we got Don the Kingpin. We got my boy Ant. Of course, you see their Twitter handles. And then we got Rolling with Court over there. Of course, she got her TikTok handle.
Court.
But how y'all doing today?
Good, man. Pretty good. Coming off the holiday. Hope everybody had a good one. Was able to enjoy some time with their loved ones.
Well, yeah, same here, man. Had a great 4th. Went swimming. The sun beat me. I was dehydrated. Slept for almost half the day and stayed up all night. But I had the day off today, so it was a good day for me to recoup and get some much needed rest, man.
Did you do the sandwich and chip combo at the pool? A long day at the pool. I did. The sandwich and chips was like a golden combination. It was like the best tasting thing ever.
I didn't do the sandwich, but I did the chip and dip though. I did the chips and dip. No sandwich, no.
Y'all, it's the fact that I'm unveiling my rollers and literally doing my hair on the live.
Absolutely.
The get ready with Cortney. That's what we.
It's the get ready with me. It's the get ready with me. For sure.
We gotta show the fans a different side of you.
Behind the scenes. Yeah, behind the scenes.
This is crazy, bro. This is
dedication
behavior. Y'all please
crackhead.
This is dedication for sure.
But
yes, it is.
In my defense, to all the viewers, I was trapped outside in my car for the last hour with torrential rainfall, and I could not get out because my hair would have got wet, and that would have been a disaster. And it still got a little bit wet, but it's not that bad. So forgive me. But I'm here though. I'm here.
We can confirm this is a true story.
Yes, very true story.
This is not an excuse.
Yes, we can absolutely confirm. But as y'all see, the topic that we have actually was created a couple months ago. We're just finally getting a chance to hold on before we go into it. KD Bayless and K4 Show got a
Hey man, you never know what you're gonna get.
You never know what you're gonna get with the Kings Cort.
Talk about range. This is range right here.
We full of surprises, man. Hey man.
Cool.
Absolutely. But yeah, this topic was picked a couple months ago as far as the art of letting go. I actually was intrigued with this topic. But I want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about this topic, to be honest?
Well, I mean, can I go first? I'm sorry. I'm over here trying to prepare. So I'm excited about the topic. I think it's a very important topic for us to cover because, everybody's gone through, whether it be breakup with a relationship or even friendships or whether it's a job in your career. It's like everybody has had to let go of something at some point or another in their lives. So the question that comes to my mind when I think about this topic is, when do we know the right time, or when do we know it's time to let go? What does that look like? What's the process of that? So I'm excited about the topic because I'm just looking forward to us sharing thoughts or experiences on, us having to let things go in our lives and what that looked like for us and, just how we got through it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I mean, I think the art of letting go, I think, is something that you get better at as you mature and grow and get older. As when we're younger, even when we know that something isn't necessarily good for us or having a positive impact on our lives, if it feels good or if we're enjoying it in the moment, then it becomes very difficult to try to part ways with that, even if it's having a negative influence on your life. So, like I said, it comes with growth. It comes with getting older and just maturing overall. but it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. But it's something that is a necessity if you want to grow and go to the next level.
Oh yeah, just to piggyback what Cortney and Ant just said, yeah, I'm excited about this topic as well. You know, and go when you think about when I think about art, I think about the process of putting the particular on the canvas, the type of paint that you want to use, the type of picture that you want to paint. So in that, art takes time, and even in letting go, that takes time as well, because in certain instances of our lives, when it's time for us to let go of something, we don't instantly let go of that particular thing. We want to make sure that what we're letting go is going to be to our benefit, because letting go it's not easy at times. It's not going to be just a thing where we just going to immediately let go. Like, it's going to take time, it's going to take a process, and you just have to realize that when it comes to certain things, that becomes a detriment in your life, whether it be people, places, things, habits, things like that. You want to let go, just let go. So I felt like this was a very important topic for us to do and to discuss, because I know for the four of us, I'm pretty sure there are some things in our lives that we had to let go that wasn't easy to let go. But at the end of the day, when we let go of those things and people and habits and stuff like that, we came to realize that it was for our benefit. And so I'm happy about this topic, and I'm ready to get into it.
I agree with y'all 100%. And for me, that's where I felt when I first thought about the topic. I actually spoke to, of course, KD at his first debate, the first comment. I was like, there's so many ways you can go with this as far as the art of letting go, because as y'all mentioned, you can go about relationships. You can go about moving on in any particular thing, whether it's a job, whether it's transition to a new city, whether it's just transitioning in general. But sometimes that art of letting go, it has so many layers to it, because you can even go as far as letting go of a traumatic situation, because that's another thing that you can look into when it's coming to the art of letting go. And to me, I feel that when you're talking about the art of letting go, I've looked at it in a couple of ways. For one, I think every situation that you're presented with comes with a purpose. And to me, by letting go, you get the opportunity to realize what strength you have, what you were able to overcome. And for a lot of people, sometimes they have a hard, it depends on the struggle too at times. Because when I look at it from a job perspective, sometimes you have to let go of being complacent. That's one thing you have to let go of. You have to be at a point where you let go of being complacent to take the next leap, to take the next level, and say, okay, this is where my season was for this moment. Now it's time for me to transition. Same for a relationship. It comes a point where you may be growing on a certain level, and the person who was there, they fit what your level was beforehand. They may not fit where you're heading to. So that's an art in letting go. Even with traumatic situations, like prime example, just to kind of throw it out there, I think all of us, maybe all of us have dealt with it at this point in life, and even people that are tuned in, dealing with one other unique thing to me about the art of letting go is grieving from losing a loved one.
Yeah.
That's another thing. There are some people who may not necessarily be able to grieve with it sooner than others. So it's a process with that. So I think this art of letting go has so many layers with it that it's not even one that you can just really hone in on, if you ask me. But I feel like kind of where I wanted to go with it is one thing about sometimes when you have to let go of certain things. Like I give an example for myself, even in a job situation, sometimes you may come into a situation that makes you comfortable. And by being able to take the next leap in life, you have to let go of being in that comfort zone. You have to sometimes take a step out of your comfort zone to better yourself, to better you as a person, and to show not so much prove to the world, but to show that, hey, I can progress in these levels, because success is not about you just staying in the same spot forever. You won't be able to really grow if you don't let go of a certain thing that you used to do or a certain thing that you didn't understand at a point. It's all about leveling up, honestly, too. So I think letting go got so many layers in it, but I kind of want to see what y'all feeling in regards to like what is the first thing to jump off your mind, like when you saying you're letting go?
Well, oh my bad.
No, you're good. You can go ahead, Cortney.
Wait.
No, I was gonna say, the whole topic of it being art, the art of letting go. When you finally learn how to let go of something, it really is art. It's a beautiful thing, because whatever your next is, you know what I'm saying? Like it's oftentimes greater than what you were holding on to. So I feel like, while letting go can be a bit uncomfortable or painful in its process, the art that comes with it, at the end of the day, it's like being on the potter's wheel. And not trying to go all biblical or anything, but when you're on the potter's wheel, it's very uncomfortable. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a potter.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's lumps, and you're knocking out the lumps, and I can imagine that it's just not very comfortable being the pot that's being made. However, once the product is finished, it's the most beautiful piece of art you've ever seen. So again, I think that letting go of something, someone, an idea, or anything it's ugly, y'all. It's real ugly at times. I can talk from personal experience. It's not a pleasant experience. It's scary. It's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's painful. It's emotionally scarring sometimes. But I feel like it's just one of those things that's so necessary, and we have to learn how to let something go so that we can get to the things that God has for us, because his canvas, I actually, while I was sitting in the car in the torrential rain, I was reading a devotional, and torrential.
That's the word of the day,
Torrential. But I was reading this devotional, and it was talking about a canvas. Maybe the Lord, maybe the Lord trapped me out there because he wanted to give me a word to give y'all tonight. Maybe
he does work in mysterious ways.
But no, seriously, it was talking about it was just talking about a canvas of all the things, and it was saying how we sometimes paint in our mind. We paint our dreams, what we feel like life should look like, the things that we want, relationships that we want, careers that we want. We even put a timeline on it. But the author was saying we have to learn how to trade our canvas for God's canvas, because God's canvas is bigger than ours, is prettier than ours, is better than ours. And so we got to learn how to be able to say, okay, we're going to put our canvas. Yeah, our little painting is cute. You know what I'm saying? It's cute and all, but God's is better. So that's kind of my initial thoughts. Do with that what you will. Amen.
Amen.
I think when I first hear like the art of letting go, I think about just like the people that you come in contact with, whether it's friends or people you've been in a relationship with, people that you've been in a relationship with that just weren't really the best fit for you, and maybe they were holding you back. Either it could be a coworker, it could be a former partner, it could be a friend that's just keeping you from getting to that level, the next level that you're supposed to be at. And like Cortney said, it's when you say art, it's a beautiful thing once you kind of learn and get the hang of it. But in that moment, it's scary, it's uncomfortable. And honestly, it probably feels good at the moment. You know what I mean? And it's like the ability to trust the unknown versus what you have and just letting go of that completely and trusting that better things are in store for you in the future. That's a difficult process that not I mean, a lot of grown-ups don't even have that ability. A lot of grown-ups or adults are stuck in situations that they know they shouldn't be in, whether it's a job, relationship, or whatever it might be. And it takes time. It takes being comfortable with being uncomfortable. It takes support. You need the support of your friends and your loved ones to normally um, gather the strength to make that type of move. Um, it's just difficult, man. And we're not sitting up here saying that it's easy because it's not at all. But just accepting how difficult it is, understanding how difficult it is, and just knowing there's a challenge there, but also understanding that better things are ahead, just like Courtney was saying. So, and that's what life is about, is like progressing, getting better. You know what I mean? And not being stagnant, not being stuck in the same spot. So, so yeah, I just wanted to chime in off with that.
Well, for me personally, one of the things that I had to, practice letting go is that I needed a father figure in my life to become a man. And I don't say that to diminish the role of a male father, a male in the household. Like, I do believe in, you know, a mother and a father raising their children, not single mothers, not single fathers and stuff like that. I'm just speaking for me personally, because even as an adult, I sometimes have those moments where I think to myself, what if I would have had a consistent father figure in my life? Would I be where I am today? Um, will I be um dealing with certain things that I continuously deal with if I had a father figure in my life? And at that point, I just have to realize that I have to stop living my life in regret. And when I realized that, that made me become more confident in who I was, because even though I didn't know who my father was until I was 17, that don't necessarily mean that I am him, or I had to base my life upon who he was. I'm my own man. God created me to be my own man, and to be a man that he want me to be. So I had to stop living my life in regret, man. I had to let go of the habit of being regretful and wishing upon things. Or if I would have had a father figure in my life, I would have known how to become a better husband, a better man, and all this type of stuff. Like, those things you just gonna learn on the fly. Like, it's on the job training. And the only way you're gonna learn how to do those things is if when you start making mistakes, making bad choices. Now, I'm not saying to go out here and just start making bad choices intentionally, but I had to realize that I'm not perfect and I'm going to make mistakes. And that had nothing to do with the fact that I was raised in a single mother household. It had nothing to do with that. It's just things that I learned doing life, and I learned what to do and what not to do, and things of that nature. I just learned on the fly. So I just had to let go of regret. Regret will cause you to miss out on life and miss out on really enjoying the process, because many people, they don't enjoy the process. They don't enjoy the process of getting back up after you falling. They don't enjoy the process of learning from your mistakes and becoming better, being better than you was yesterday. So I had to let go of regret. Um, Regret was holding me back. So, I couldn't blame I couldn't blame my dad for the mistakes that I did. I blamed myself. And so yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I just had to learn to be my own man, and not, and not try to live my life in regret. So just, yeah.
I love how you put that too. But so just coming in here, Hey, what's up, bro? What's going on, man? Good to see you on the show. He said you have to let go to grow. For example, parents have to let go of their children so they can grow into young adults. And I'm gonna say this too. I love the fact that you went there about that particular topic because there are a lot of men and women that can relate to that lack of father figure or even not being able to have the wishes of having them consistent. Because similar to you now, our relationship is better. It's great now. We're in a very good place. But growing up, we did not have the best relationship. And then you look at a lot of your friends around you and you're like, well, this dad gonna do this. Well, they gonna do this. Well, I can't do that. You have somebody great. Like, again, you, like me, mom was greatest all time. Appreciate everything she did. You appreciate everything your mom do. But it was something that you felt like was missing. But as you get older, you start to realize I was learning lessons, but I didn't know it until I got older. So if that's a struggle for anyone out here, and I love the fact that Don talked on it. I've talked on previous show way back when. If it's something that you're dealing with, just know this right here. God didn't allow you to walk this journey without zero father figures. Someone else played a role in your life, or maybe the person that you desired to play the role gave you a lesson that maybe you didn't understand as you got older. And I know Doug can probably relate to that 100%, that there were things that we learned growing up. At the time, we didn't understand it. But in our 30s, it's like, I was learning that lesson at the time. So the one thing that you have to do is don't allow it to stop you from growing once you reach that next level in life. Because you could go back and look at those things and say, man, I was struggling with it because I didn't understand at the time. But look at the man I became. Look at the woman I became. Because I was able to look back at what I didn't have. So when I do become a wife or a husband or a mom or a dad, I know how to do this thing different. And everyone, I encourage you with this right here. Don't allow what you didn't receive growing up to be what you're not for the one that's coming behind you. Because we are getting to a stage in life where we are leading the next generation. You don't want if you feel that that struggle is preventing you from being the best version of yourself, I encourage you to pray on it. I encourage you to do all the groundwork possible to get past it, because you never know who's looking up to you. You never know who's watching you go through a journey in life and don't even realize that they looking up to me. But sometimes you can be in your own head to where you don't see that. And that's not, and Dunn has done an excellent job. I can say me and him know each other since we were kids. You wouldn't know that man didn't have a father figure because he's done an excellent job as an adult. And I can say that on air straight up, that he's done an excellent job as an adult. He learned from what he didn't have and has become a better example of that to the next generation behind him. And that's what I encourage any of you watching this show to do. Allow that to be something that become your testimony of why you became the best version of what you didn't have. Because ultimately at the time, sometimes we could be chasing something that's not meant to be in our life because they're not here to help us grow. So you started by changing what you have around you. Because I promise you, the moment that you set the example, the next one and the next one and the next one starts to follow suit. And sometimes, and I see it in the comments, I was actually about to say it, some in that generational curse thing that you hear, or a generational cycle, it is very, very true. Do not think that it is not true, but it's up to you once you get blessed to be in that position to break it. Yeah. And that's a very key thing into letting go when you're going through a struggle, because I promise you, you don't want them to see your struggle and it be stuck. Because guess what they're going to say? Well, mom did it. Mom was mad at this person, so I'm going to be mad the same way. Don't allow that to carry over with you. You be that example of how to overcome that. And I pass it over to whoever want to take it next.
Well, I just want to piggyback off of that to say, And shout out to Don, because Don, you turned out to be a phenomenal young man, regardless of the situation. But I heard you say, you had to learn how to let go of regret, and so that just kind of threw me into some of the things that we have to let go of emotionally, because when we hold on to those things, my therapist says all the time, things that we experienced as children, it shapes the adults that we become. And so sometimes we can be holding on to things from 20, 30 years ago, and we're harboring it in our heart. So we have to learn how to not only let go of regret, we have to learn how to let go of hurt or disappointment from the things that we felt like we should have had that maybe we didn't have, or some of the things that we experienced, as kids, that now as an adult has shaped us into this person that really God's not calling us to be. I know me, for an example, and this wasn't even a childhood thing. One of the things that even right now in this moment that I'm having to work my way through is letting go of the disappointment that my marriage didn't work, and opening myself up to being able to receive love from somebody again. Because I can't get to that if I'm going to constantly hold on to, oh, my marriage didn't work, beating myself up, or, beating up the other person, or, I have to let that go. So it's difficult to do. I think emotionally letting something go is probably one of the hardest things to do. It's almost easier to let something tangible go than it is to let something go that you really can't see, something that's going on inside of you or in your mind. Because them mental battles is crazy. It's witchcraft, just about. It's hard. So, I think we have to learn how to let go of the emotional things, and that type of stuff. I feel like, that comes with a lot of prayer, a lot of depending on God, because it's not something that you can really, in my opinion, it's not something that you can really do by yourself, because it's that difficult. So really just leaning in and, trusting God to heal you in those spaces so that you can move forward. Because a lot of times we get stuck, we're stuck in our minds. And if you mess around and get stuck in your mind, like, it's hard for you to advance, because you just, and we all know that stagnancy is not the best thing. So yeah, I think emotional traps are probably some of the dangerous traps there are. So I'm, because of, and I'm not like, while I do still deal with some disappointment, I feel like I've come a long way, but I wanted to spearhead that into asking, what do you guys think are some good ways to help a person get through emotional traps?
Well,
go ahead. Ron.
Yeah, I just had to piggyback on what she was saying, because whether we want to realize it or not, we as human beings, we want to be in control all the time. And that's why it's so easy to let go of things that's tangible instead of emotional that we cannot see, because emotionally letting go, when you let that go, you're not in control. It's just at that moment, you just gotta let it go. And you're gonna feel like, at times we don't want to feel like, we don't want to feel, we don't want to dig deep, we don't want God to touch that area. Like, I'm not ready for you to touch the area right now. Like, I want to be in control of that, even though it's time for us to let that go. But when it's time for us to let go of, habits, time for us to let go of houses and cars and money, like those things, okay, cool. But when it's time for us to let go of regret, bitterness, I mean, it's tough.
That
I mean,
business I be wanting to hold on to for a little while longer.
Right. It's tough because when you're in place for so long emotionally, you don't know that's all you're used to. You're used to being in that prison of bitterness, that prison of doubt, that prison of just of regret, and you don't know where it is outside. It's just like somebody who's been incarcerated. When they get out, they have to get used to being free, being outside, because they've been, depending on how long they've been locked up, that's all they know is being locked up, being in the cage, daily routine of waking up, going to get their food or going out or whatever, and going back in the cell. That's all they're known of doing. They don't know how they're not used to being free. And that's how it is when you free yourself from that pain, from that regret, from that business, whatever it is emotionally that you have to let go. It's the fact that, okay, I felt this way for so long, I don't know what it feels like to be free anymore. And I feel like that's why so many people struggle with letting go, is because they've forgotten about the fact of being free, and they have completely um forgotten about the fact that they can be free. And if I could just say something, on this stream, is that if you feel like you don't deserve to let that go, then you're sadly mistaken. You do deserve to let that go. You are deserving of being free. You are deserving to live life to the fullest. You don't have to live your life just bound in whatever you're dealing with. You don't deserve that. You're not worthy of that. You're worthy of being free. You're worthy of being on parole. You're free. So the fact that you're still alive today, that should let you know that, hey, you can be free. So, not saying that it's going to be easy. It's going to be a process, but as long as you're consistent and you have that motivation and that perseverance on your mind to say, hey, I'm gonna let this go because I want to be free, then over time you'll start seeing, those areas start chiseling away. You'll start seeing the chains falling off. So, um, yeah, it's not easy, but it's doable. And
I think another thing that we do well, and I say we, because I think it's a we thing. Human beings, we get stuck in the concept of familiarity.
Yeah.
If it's familiar to us, or because it's familiar, oh well, because I've been here this long, you know what I'm saying? Well, because I've been doing it this long. But that's I think that's like the most awful thing, because just because something is familiar don't necessarily mean it's good for you. Nope. Just because it's familiar don't mean you shouldn't let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like one of the top ways of robbing yourself of happiness and what God has for you. Because I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the comment. It's better to have that battle within yourself and one day overcoming it than ignoring it totally. I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But it's like, you got to come to a place where, like Don said, we are deserving of, I don't care what you've done. I don't care how bad you think I don't care how far you think you've gone. I don't care. You could think, oh, I'm just beyond recovery. Not so. Everybody, if you still got breath in your body, you are deserving of good things. Oh Lord, you all right? Sorry, y'all. My family's here. It's a time going. They're over there, they shouting. You know what I'm saying? They just fell out in the spirit. Fell out. It's all right.
Get the blankets. Get the blankets.
Somebody get the sheet. Throw the sheet over. Praise God.
Fine linen.
For real though, if you still got breath in your body, you're deserving of good things. So I think we just get, we can't get stuck in that mode of, well, it's familiar. Just because it's familiar don't mean it's good. Don't mean that you shouldn't let go. Anything that's bringing more harm than good, anything that's stale and stagnant, anything that's not helping you to progress deserves to be let go.
Yeah.
it deserves to be let go. If you're not finding growth in a thing, it deserves to be let go. And I don't care what it is, who it is. If it's not helping you to advance, it needs to be let go. And on the flip side of that, y'all, I often say all the time, I still believe that God brings people in your life sometime for a reason, sometime for a season, whatever the case may be. I even say of my own self to my friends, if y'all get to a place with me where I'm not pushing you to be your best self, baby, let me go. I think it go both ways. It can't just be one-sided.
Yeah.
I feel like if I fulfill my purpose in somebody's life and they feel like, you can't go into my next season with me, I don't get offended at that anymore. I used to get offended. I don't get offended at that anymore. I now say, well, Lord, maybe my time was up there. Maybe I can't go over into their next with them. But I thank you for the opportunity, that the time that we did have as friends. And I wish them well on their way. So I think it goes both ways. And I think we should always remain open to the fact, because we can't say it of ourselves and then get mad when somebody do it to us or feel like, they have to let us go,
Yep.
So,
and I do agree with you as far as one thing. I think sometimes when it goes into letting it go, I seen a comment saying earlier, you got to be willing to get in that mirror to yourself and get every bit of that emotion out of you. If whatever it is, if it's something that you know internally that you're battling, and sometimes you got to go through it. You got to cry it out. You got to, why am I dealing with this? I got to get over this. I got to break this to get to where I need to go to. Because if you don't, it lingers for months and years and years and years. And guess what? If you don't let go, you're going to have people along your life and along your journey to tell you, you need to let this go. And in your mind, you're going to be like, they're so insensitive. They don't understand what I'm going on.
Meanwhile, it done been 30 years.
Yes.
And you still talking about the same thing.
Right.
If you don't get to a point where you can progress in it, you got to do the work in the mirror. And also, don't lie to yourself. If you know you're not over it, don't say that you're over it. But then behind the scenes, that's like me saying that I'm over adversity type situation to my brothers and my sister, and I'm like, I'm good. And then I hit them up 3 months later. I'm still hurt. What? I asked you this question for a reason.
Huh?
You cannot battle. You cannot continue to do that to yourself, because that will hold you back as well. Because there are some people that come into your life that are meant to help. Not only do you have people that are in your life for a reason, a season. When you're talking about the reason, sometimes God put people in your life to help you figure out what's been holding you back to get you over the top. You have to be willing to deal with it, though. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to say they were right. Okay, so how do I go about doing this? But if you don't do that groundwork to yourself, you can't expect the world to understand what you're going through either. So as
you
mentioned,
yourself for sure.
Yeah. So as mentioned, that's like me being upset about a girl, how she treated me 5 years ago. That girl probably done moved on with her life and did whatever she wanted to do. You can't stay stuck in that.
Sleeping that night, brother.
Absolutely. You cannot stay stuck in that. You have to get to a point, and as Don mentioned earlier, you got to have confidence within yourself. Because if you don't have confidence within yourself, you can't expect for other people to validate you. If you don't have validation here, you can't get the validation that you're going to be seeking for out here either, because you haven't done the groundwork with yourself.
Yeah.
I did want to go back to Courtney's question about like supporting someone when they're trying to get through a situation like this. And I think it's super important at the very beginning to establish, like, especially like in a situation where they're getting over a breakup or whatever it might be, like coming up with a list together of do's and don'ts. Like, this is what's acceptable. This is what's not acceptable. and making sure that making them understand that accountability is going to be a part of the process, because I can't support you. I can't be here for you. I can't help you get through this if you're not going to allow me to hold you accountable. But then also too, making them understand that it's a process. So there's going to be steps forwards, there's going to be steps backwards sometimes, but there's beauty in the struggle. There's, when you understand that a change needs to happen and then you're taking the steps, even if you make mistakes along the way, you're still trying, and the effort is what is super important. But again, accountability is huge when you're trying to assist someone and getting through a tough time or getting over someone or whatever the situation might be, because if I can't hold you accountable, there's no point in us even attempting to do this. It's pointless. Like, you're trusting me as someone who cares about you and loves you to help you get through this tough time that you're having. But at the same time, you're not allowing me to address, the bad behaviors that are, that you're exhibiting, or, when you make a mistake, trying to help you correct that. And, it's just a part of the process, but accountability is a super important part of it.
To answer her question, I would say be patient with the person while they're in their process of letting go, because we know how we are at times. We have that thing in our head, be like, all right, now it's been 3 weeks, like it's time for you to push this thing going, like come on now, like. But we have to get to a point to where people move on for stuff at different speeds. What may take days for somebody to move on from, it may take somebody, a month or two. Now, if it's like 1 or 2 years, depending on what it is, then probably want to start asking more questions. But again, you don't want to dictate the process of somebody letting go, because like I said, people let go of things at different paces. People grow differently. People are different, period. Like all 4 of us on this panel, we, even though we have the same standards pretty much, from a distance standpoint, we are different. We have different preferences, we have different tastes and all that type of stuff. We're just different, and people have different ways of going through their own process at different speeds. So you have to respect their space, and you have to give them their space when they're letting go, and not rush it. Don't rush the process. Let them feel what they feel. Let them do what they have to do to let go. Now when they start attempting to harm themselves, then that's when you step in. But as long as none like that is going on, keep encouraging them, keep loving on them, keep showing them support, and just let them go through their process. Don't try to be their personal stopwatch per se, to be like, okay, time's up.
Y'all feathers a little bit. So Ant came from the position of accountability, which is great. Don, you came from the position of support, which is great, because I feel like both are essential, right? What is the line though? Where's the line between support and accountability? Like, what's y'all know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You trying to say when is enough where you can do a bit of both? Is that what you kind of
right? Yeah, like what's the balance? Like what's too much support and not enough accountability, and what's too much accountability and not enough patience and support? Like, where do you find what's a good balance between the two?
I think that's why it's super important to establish like the do's and don'ts. Like when you're going into this understanding, hey, I'm supporting you and trying to help you get through this situation. These are the things. Come up with the list together, because it needs to have both individuals' input. Like, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable, and whenever you cross that line into unacceptable, that's when I'm going to correct you and get you.
Y'all know what? This is a great conversation, because I have never in my life sat down with any of my friends to say this is what I need.
Yeah, I mean, if you truly. If a friend is truly helping you get through something, I feel like that's a conversation that has to happen.
Right, and the fact that Yeah,
and
the fact.
I'm just sitting here thinking like I've never done anything like that before. But I think that is like a great idea when you're going through something.
Yeah.
To sit with the people you trust and say, "Hey, this is really what I need in this season." Amen.
Yeah. And it's trust on both sides. You know, is trust. You're trusting them to provide you with what you need, and then they're trusting you to provide them to tell them what you need. Like it goes both ways. But at the end of the day, if you need help, just say it. Like I don't, and that's one thing about being in that place of not letting go. Not letting go will cause you not to ask for help when you need it. Like when you see, if you're thirsty and you see your friend, they got a bottle of water in their hands, why would you not ask them for the water? They have what you need. It's right there. It's not like they're 250 or 300 miles down the road somewhere. They're right there in your face. And one thing about it is the one thing that causes us not to let go is pride. Why do we feel like we have to do things on our own when we're struggling? We have people around us that are there to help us. But because we want to be prideful and we want to handle things on our own, we want to be so independent, we want to show people that we're so strong that it's to our own detriment.
It is.
Like, why
that
show
goes back
off?
to what I was saying about having to let go of things way back that you experienced. Because I can speak, I can only speak for myself on this one. Growing up, there was nobody. Nobody helped me. So I grew into this person who I am today who says, you got to get it on your own. You can't ask nobody for nothing because ain't nobody out there that's going to give you nothing. So I can, like, I'm 37. I'll be 38 in October. Lord, let me see it. I can honestly sit here and say to y'all, I got two of my best friends sitting right here. They will tell you I have never come to them. Like, if I was low on money, I've never asked either one of them for $1. Nope. Never. And I done been low. I've been low. I've been without. And I've never gone to them and asked them. And here's the crazy part. They would give it to me if I asked them. If they had it, they would give it to me. But I never want to ask because holding on to things that along the years I built within myself, you know, that I need to let go of because it would hinder me from, I mean, they my best friends. You know what I'm saying? I should trust that. I know they, you know, we should trust each other enough to be able to come and say, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is kind of this is what I need. But if I don't let that go, if I don't get to that place where I let that go, I'll hinder myself. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to interject that you are so right, Don. It's so important that we trust enough to be like, hey, like, this is what I need.
And I've been exactly there where I've transitioned from job to job and I didn't have any money and I was so prideful not to go ask Jen for some money because in my mind I'm like, look, I'm the husband, I'm the provider. I'm not gonna go my wife asking for money. And then my humble self was like, man, you stupid. Like, that's your help me. That's your wife.
Right.
Like,
and
she has your
working,
back. Exactly.
You're working. That's the part that helped me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all work together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
yeah.
And that is okay to do. And I feel like if people don't be knowing when they blessed. I feel like, there are people out there, you know, there are women out there, no man should. I don't feel like that. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. If you got a man who's working and doing what he's supposed to do and taking care of his responsibility, I feel like a woman should absolutely have her husband's back.
Watch your inbox. Check your DMs. They're coming.
Don't be there.
Close for repair. All right, don't come.
Close for
repair. I'm still healing. Okay, I ain't ready. But anyway, I feel like a woman should absolutely. I'm not with that now. Don't get me wrong. I would love the opportunity to live a soft girl life. You know what I'm saying? Where my man just do everything. But people got to be realistic in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we are right now. Inflation is crazy. Okay? It takes a 2-income household just to survive. just to survive. And I'm out here single parenting. So, you know, I wish I had helped me. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think that you should absolutely be able to go to your wife and say, hey, you know, I'm down on this and, you know, can you help me out? I think that's totally normal. Don't ever feel bad for doing it. You're hearing it from a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because I know as a guy, you may feel, you know, but from a woman's perspective, I feel like there's nothing wrong with you asking your wife. As long as you working and you working hard and doing what you're supposed to do, you should be able to go to your wife.
We've been married 6 years now, and guess how many years it took me to realize that?
Probably
6 years.
Probably 6.
6 years. So
and you know something, I gotta use a young folks term. We'll use young folks term real quick to add to what Court just said right before she got to talking about the relationship perspective, where she was talking about her friends. I love what you put in there. As a friend, do not cap to your friends that say that you have it together when we clearly see that you are struggling. Do not come, number one, do not go on social media putting on this big old front and then be in somebody's DM or text message an hour later. Oh my God, I'm struggling. If you know you're struggling, be honest about it.
We all can see
respect honesty. Do not come and say that you big balling out here 5 hours ago to come and say, oh man, I'm struggling. Come on now. Not when you clearly see the struggle. If you know you're going through something, speak on it. Don't let your pride be the thing that hurts you in the end. Because guess what? And I know these three can relate to this. You might tell me one thing, and I already know this person is telling me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna wait to let stuff hit the fan before they have to actually tell me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not receiving support either. Because at the end of the day, as they stated, it is a balance between support and accountability. I can't allow you to stay stuck in neutral because that's too much support. Then I'm not going to also bash you about being too accountable because it's mean there's little to no support and way more accountability. It is going to be a balance. And along that journey, you got to be willing to tell whoever comes to you or whoever you seek help on, got to be willing to tell you, hey, I see your progression in this. I see your progression in that. I see your progression in this. You was here, now you're here. You was there, now you're there. So that's a beautiful thing. Be able to do that with whoever you help, and whoever's helping you be able to do the same thing. And also, if you are going to receive help and you are trusting in a particular person or people, be honest with that particular group. Do not tell one person you're good and go cry to the other person. Because guess what? Especially if they're in the same circle, they know what's going on. Because they're going to say,
"What?" Add to that though, because I feel like you gotta also operate in discernment on who you're even sharing with.
Yeah,
that's number one. Stop crying to the wrong people. I feel like you really got to be mindful of who you're pouring out to. And I say that to say, because, for example, I'm divorced. My friends, I try not to give too much advice to my friends who are still married. Why? I'm divorced. Don't listen to me. Baby, you're going to end up at the divorce court. I don't got nothing to tell nobody who's still married. I'm not
and
married.
I might be your lawyer.
You know, I might be your lawyer. Appoint you to one. Okay? I'm going to get you some alimony, too. I'm going to get you some money. So I think that we have to be mindful and discern who we're going to, depending upon the situation. We got to stop pouring out to the wrong people and actually get with people who have. If you're married and you want to stay married, you need to go seek a married couple who went through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they made it out to the other side. If you're in a situation and you're trying to get out because it's not good for you, then okay, you can talk to somebody who's out and who's doing good once they got out. You know what I'm saying? if you got kids and you having problems with your kid, why would you go talk to somebody who ain't got none? You see what I'm saying? Like, I think you just gotta discern, and I think if we be more mindful of who we're talking to, then I think that'll kind of work itself out. Because if you're talking to the right people, then the right people will know the right advice or the right way to support you. You know what I'm saying?
Stop going to Burger King when you know you need a steak. Stop.
Hey, cause I'm gonna go to Longhorn when I need me a good steak.
Going to the wrong place, knowing that you got appetite for something else. Like, come on, stop fooling yourself.
That is so true. That is so true. And I agree with you about the discernment. That is so true too, because you gotta know, and believe me, you know in your group who you can rely on and who gonna go tell like they TMZ.
Yeah.
TMZ, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Because oh my God, I gotta add this. And he said, "Get the 4-for-4."
Getting a 4-for-4.
Hey, that 4-for-4 be flex though.
Hey, it hit.
It be flex, yeah. Like that 4-for-4 it come, you know.
It ain't even a 4-for-4 no more. It's an inflation now. It's a $5 biggie bag.
It's a $5
yeah.
biggie bag.
4-for-7.
I want a 4-for-4.
Yeah, the 4-for-4 don't exist anymore.
It's a 4-for-7.
Lord, it's a 4-for-5 plus tax.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You used to be able to eat like a king at Cookout for $10. Now,
oh man, don't say that. You know, spending $12 for a dog.
A tray. Boy, y'all know when them trays used to be $5. And that big sweet tea, why you selling things? Y'all ain't gonna lie.
Don't tell your age, Court.
Hey, Court. I'm gonna bring his. I'm back up on the screen. We were just talking. Him and Tyreek, who also was on the stream too. We were just talking this morning about. Don't y'all miss them COVID prices? We took advantage of the prices.
Oh
what?
Man.
No, I missed that COVID package. What was that money that we got? That stimulus.
The stimmy. Give me the stimmy.
I missed that stimmy.
I can use that 1,200 right now for real, dog.
That's the only thing make me miss Uncle Donnie. Hey, run me that money, Uncle Donnie. Hey, I don't want to vote for the man, but hey, Unc came through with that money though. I don't care what y'all say about him. Unc came through with that check.
There's another podcast.
That is true.
I'm about to say we going off course.
I know how y'all feel about the man. Hey, I feel I ain't too fond of it, but I gotta give credit where credit due. Hey,
that is the art of letting go. She let go a statement that
Unc came through with that money.
Letting go of unpopular opinions.
Unpopular opinion. Trump for president.
That go to show you, man. It's so many strands to this, to letting go, man. It's so many strands. You can take it so many ways. You can take it so many ways. But yeah, we gotta let go of that pride, man. That pride will continuously cause you not to let go of what you need to let go of. That pride to tell you, I'm not drowning, but you knee deep in the water. Like your nose is in the water and you sinking, but you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to cry for help. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame, but.
So what's the one thing that you guys, I guess, taking from this episode or being able to sit here for the last hour and talk about letting go or reflecting even on your own lives? What's the one thing that you would say right now in this moment that you need to let go of?
I guess I would say stop. For me, as I've been working on this recently, is to let go of the doubt that I've had, because particular things have transpired over the last couple of months to where I've been challenged to do more whether it's in my career, whether it's in the work field, because at a period of time, I was like, I'm going to go just at this pace that I know I'm going to go at. So it was the art of letting go that, man, I can't do this right here. This going to take this, it's going to take that. I had to let go of stop thinking that if I don't move at this pace that I'm not moving successfully. So once I stopped letting that go, I started to see better results come through my own journey. So I think that was the biggest thing for me, like letting go, start to never stop underestimating where you are in your life because because of where you're thinking internally.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say letting
go.
Sorry, oh no, you're good. Were you about to go, Courtney? Sorry.
You. I didn't know which one of y'all were going first.
I'll go real quick. I wouldn't necessarily say letting go, but it's just like understanding, recognizing the signs. Like sometimes when, like for example, my job has been pretty stressful here the last couple of months, and a job may be good for you from a financial aspect, but if it's wearing you down like mentally, then it's not a good place for you. And so like the hardships that you're experiencing at that place, even though financially you might be benefiting, the hardships might be a signal that, hey, you need to get up out of there. Like money, money isn't worth your peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like if you're, finding, you're just struggling in other parts of your life, even if work, like financially you're doing well and your pockets are growing, your bank accounts are growing, but your other parts of your life are suffering, then recognize that maybe those are signs that you need to start looking elsewhere. And even if, hey, it might be a little bit less in your pocket, but you have your peace of mind, you're less stressed, you're able to sleep at night, like all these other things that are benefits to your life, even if you're getting a little bit less every 2 weeks as far as your paycheck goes. You know what I mean? So I think that's important also.
All right.
You speaking to me, Ant. Speaking to me when it comes to that. Oh, but one of the things I would say about me personally is I need to let go of not being able to accept the truth about myself at times. Because I'm quite good at telling everybody else the truth, but sometimes I'm not good at accepting the truth about myself. And I have to know within myself that, hey, I have come a long way within my journal, being an adult, but I don't have it all together. Like Dontario, you don't have it all together as you think you do.
We don't. None of us do. It's okay.
We don't have it together, and that's for me as well. Like, because one thing about Jen, I would say, is she's real big on telling people the truth about themselves, and sometimes it does come off. At first it comes off as criticism, but as I sit back and look and really hear what she's saying, I'll be like, hey, it's coming from a good place. She's not tearing me down, and it causes me to just look at the mirror and be like, okay, like I need to work on this. I need to fix this. I need to allow God to go into this place and change this about me. And that allows me to just hear the truth, just accept the truth for myself, because like they say, the truth hurts, but it's needed. It's just like medicine. Medicine don't taste good, but it's needed. So that's why I'm learning to let go of, of the pride of not accepting the truth. And I just need to learn how to realize that, there's some areas about me that needs work. And when somebody points that out, just know that it's coming from a good place. It's coming from a place of love, and it's coming from a place of that person has, they're concerned about me and they care about me. And I can work on those areas. So that's why I would say to answer that question.
Okay. So mine would be the thing that I'm working hard on letting go of is limitation. We oftentimes we put God in a box, we put ourselves in a box.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And
100.
I'm gonna share a quick little testimony about a recent experience that I had with limitation, and God showing me how it's time to let that go. Because if you hold on to limitation, you can never experience greater or expansion. Because in your mind, you're putting God in this box, and you yourself are in this box. So I had this dumb idea. I don't know why, but you know, you get to a place in your life where you're blessed and you feel like you've hit the ceiling. But what I'm learning is that as long as you are alive and you doing what you're supposed to do and you living for God, there is no ceiling to what God will do for you and how he will bless you and the things that he wants to give you and the things that he wants you to have. And so for those of you who don't know, I've had custody of my goddaughter. So now I have a kid. And before I got her, like I've been in my current complex for the last 5 years. And I'm blessed. Like I live literally a minute and a half from my job, right? So I'm right there.
Oh, wow.
And I got to a place of contentment. I was content. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, somewhere along the line, I started to feel like, what more can you add? Like, what more do you want God to do? Like, you live by your job. You don't got to fight through traffic. You don't got to do this. Like, it almost felt like to ask for something would be insulting, right? So I had started praying lately, though, because I felt like I needed more space. Right now, I'm in a 2-bed, 2-bath. But when you have a kid, like, the space that you got, it becomes like I feel like I live in a closet, y'all, because I just feel like I live in a closet. So y'all, not even thinking, you know, I had just kind of started talking to God, and I'm like, you know, God, it would be nice, you know, if I had a little more space. Now, here's the thing, though. I didn't want to compromise being that close to my job. But more importantly, I didn't want to compromise being far away from her school, because not only is my job right there, her school is right there. She goes to one of the best schools in Atlanta. So I'm like, if I move, you know, I don't want to give up the school district. So y'all, these are just, you know, intrusive thoughts. I had just been thinking like, you know, dang God, I really need some more space, but I don't know what I can do. So kept praying. So I had come across this place that I wanted to check out that was still kind of in my area, but it was just outside of her school zone. So I went and I looked at it, and it was good. You know, it was a little bit. It was not a little bit. It was a lot more than what I'm paying right now, but I could still afford it. So I'm like, you know, I'll be paying the extra. So went, checked it out. Actually found someone to sublet my apartment so that I wouldn't have to break my lease. And it was gonna work out, y'all, because what I was gonna do was just sublet it so that I could keep my name on the lease and she could stay in her school. Right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, y'all, watch the limitation. I'm like, man, that's gonna work out. It's cool, you know, I can I can make it happen. So y'all, I went back to apply for the apartment, it was gone.
Oh man,
it was gone. So watch this though. I ain't even trip. I was like, you know what? That wasn't for me. I ain't gonna trip. You know, I'll revisit it at another time. She only got 2 more years at her elementary school, and then she'll go to middle school. At that time, maybe I'll just, I'll move in. So y'all, a week later, no lie, it was on Tuesday. I'll never forget it. I was grading papers, because y'all know I teach college too. So I was grading papers, and I heard God say to me just right there in that moment, he said, look again. And I was like, okay. So I went back to the apartment that I wanted, right? And it was still gone. So I was like, what you had me look for? It ain't there. So I started back grading papers. And he said, no, look around you. So y'all, ain't even gonna lie. I had a Sarah moment. I laughed. And I was like, I can't hardly afford what I'm in now. You want me to look around? What can I afford in Buckhead? I can't afford nothing no bigger around here. He said,
Buckhead. Ooh.
He said, look again. Look again.
Now, Butthead is not. I'm telling you, it's not for the weak.
It's not for the faint at heart. Okay?
I've heard, yeah.
Tough out there. Tough. But watch this though. I looked though. I did what he said to do. I laughed, but I looked. Right. So, I typed in my zip code, and this complex came up. So y'all check this out. I looked. They had the exact same thing that the other place had for the exact same price.
Wow.
So I'm like, bet, this my sign. I'm gone. So I went the next day to tour the place and, look at the property. When I got there, it was a really nice lady. And she said, well, Miss Edwards, I don't have the 3-bedroom that you're interested in. She said, I don't have it to show you. She said, but what I can do is I'll show you the 2 and you can see if you like it. It'll give you a general idea, of what the unit looks like. So I said, okay, cool. So I went and looked at it. It was really, really nice. I liked it instantly. I mean, from the moment I walked in, like I knew this is it. So I go back out and I say, I love it. I was like, this is it. I want to apply for it. So y'all, I just so happened to start, I just kind of started a conversation with her, and I was telling her like, I have my goddaughter now. And I just need a little more space. So the lady looks at me, y'all, and she says, well, Miss Edwards, she said, I don't know if you're interested or I don't know if you know. She said, but we have lofts here. We have 2-bedroom lofts here. And I was like, no, I don't know what that. She said, well, if you have a second, I would like to show it to you. So I said, okay. So y'all, she takes me to this loft and it's beautiful. It's 2 huge bedrooms, 2 huge bathrooms. And then there's this upstairs, right? So you go upstairs and y'all, it's a whole nother room. The only reason it's not classified as a bedroom is because it doesn't have a door. It's got a closet in there. Like, it's literally everything I want. Like, it was the perfect, it was what I was looking for, essentially.
Wow.
And she says, well, this is only going for X amount of dollars. And I said, huh? And would y'all believe that it's the exact same thing that I'm paying right now where I'm at?
Ain't God good? Ain't he good?
Ain't that a blessing?
Wow.
That is
do
awesome.
you see how limitation though can keep you from getting to? I'm like, I can't ask God for nothing else. He done already blessed me with. No, yes you can. Yes, you can ask your daddy for what you need.
You preaching?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
First question I ask you, daddy.
Yeah, I told you. I pre-warned y'all. I pre-warned every last one of y'all. But not only that, when God gave the instruction and said, look, and I laughed, what if I hadn't been obedient though and actually looked? I would have never found what God was trying to take me to.
Mm-hmm.
And getting there, and that my final point is sometimes we can think we going for one thing, but God really got something better stored up for us. I was convinced that I was going to have to pay all this money for a 3-bedroom apartment. Whole time, God had exactly what I was asking for the exact same price that I'm paying. I ain't got to come out no more money. So I am letting go. Like, that was my lesson in letting go of limitation. Get God out that box. Get him out that box. He don't belong in a box. You don't belong in a box.
100%. Yeah.
So let go. Yeah, let go of that limitation and open yourself up to receive every single thing that God got for you on this earth. I believe we're going to be rewarded in heaven. I'll enjoy that when I get there. But I want the rewards that he had for me down here too.
Come on. What's your cash out?
I'm done, y'all. I'm done.
At this time, we're gonna be taking up tithes and offering.
Let me put my cash up on the screen.
But what you said was true, Court. It really was, because we hold ourselves back from so many things that God wants to give us because we refuse to let go. We don't want to let go of us, and that goes back to that control aspect. We want to be in control of everything. We want to be in control of where we work. We want to be in control of where we live. We want to be in control of who we link up with. We want to be in control of everything. And it's like, no, like we this life ain't for us to just want to be in control all the time. No, God is the author and finisher of our faith. So he already knows where you're supposed to be. He already knows who you're supposed to be around. He already knows who you're supposed to be because he created you to be a follower. Yes, you're a leader, but even leaders have to follow somebody. And we have to follow Jesus. He's the only one that can lead us. He knows what's good for us. He knows what's best for us. Even when we think we know what's best for us, he knows what's really best for us. So that was a very great testimony, and that was an encouragement to let people know, hey, when you do it God's way, it comes with benefit.
He's gonna see about you, and he will give you the desires of your heart. I'm a witness.
He will. But there's terms and conditions. That's another episode. That's another episode. You know, I ain't gonna get into that right now. But yeah.
All right, y'all got anything else y'all want to hit before we get up out of here?
I think we covered it pretty well. Unless anybody else has something else for sure.
Yeah.
So do I. I really think so. And we appreciate y'all that were tuned in throughout this entire show because we had some great topics about the art of letting go. We really hope that y'all learned a lot because it's such a deep show, and I hope y'all go back and just want to throw this out here. If you do go back and watch shows, feel free to share our other shows. We brought a lot of great content out here, and it's some valuable lessons that you can learn throughout this year that we've provided. So we really hope that you received a lot of great information, that you were fed well. Sure, a lot of y'all eating on them 4th of July leftovers, but we hope that this fed you well too.
And y'all tag your friends, share it to your page, like help us get the word out. We love coming on here and talking to y'all. And if you ever have a topic that you want to hear us discuss, like let us know. Comment stuff, leave us the reviews or whatnot, and we will absolutely get around to the topic. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I believe that God did not put the 4 of us together for no reason. There's always a purpose to what he wants to do. And that's one of the things that we want to strive for, is to live out the purpose that he has for us for this podcast, and deliver y'all the best content and not come over here scripted and format and all this type of stuff. As you seen earlier, throughout the start of this episode, Cortney was taking out the rollers out of her hair, and that's what we do. We don't have no format, we don't have no protocol. Is when it's time to go, we go. And yeah, God bless you too, Ms. Turner. Yeah, but we want to live out the purpose of this podcast, and I believe personally that we all believe that God's got some great things in store for this podcast. So y'all, as we say all the time, the audience makes this podcast. We don't. So feel free to like, share, subscribe to what we're doing here, and we'll continue to give y'all some great content as always.
Yeah, man, the platform, it doesn't exist without y'all, the viewers and the supporters. So like, share, and subscribe. We're here to serve in any way that we can. So if y'all want us to, if there's a certain topic that you want to see discussed, drop in the comments. Please let us know. But we truly appreciate everyone that tunes in and engages with the platform. Whatsoever, whether it's liking TikTok, sharing YouTube video, liking on Facebook, whatever it may be. We appreciate y'all.
Amen to that. And on that note, that has been this episode. And until next time, by the way, let me throw this out here before we get off here. We'll be coming to you on Friday. So I know everybody, y'all love somebody say Thursday. I know, but we had to move it to Friday. So get ready to enjoy your Friday evening with us. And whether you be ready to go outside or your outside is with us, then make sure you enjoy the show.
Yeah, tune in next time for the next Get Ready With Me featuring Cortney. We'll see what the next hairstyle is. We'll do a poll and see what the viewers want to see. So.
And give y'all some hair tips on the way.
That's all right, because next time I am gonna give y'all to Get Ready With Me, because I'm getting ready to go outside after the episode, so y'all can get ready for me to go outside.
On that note, y'all, this has been the Kings Cort Podcast. Until next time, see y'all
Later.
Bye, y'all.
Salute.